Only on NBC5 News tonight, what's in a name? Tonight we begin a week-long series looking at how local places got their names and the people behind them.
So interesting. First up, NBC5's Kyle Averman gives us a look at how some of Medford's oldest streets got their names.
We're on these streets every single day. Their names give us a sense of direction, tell us where we're going, but have you ever stopped to wonder why did they name it that?
Chef Cody Deal is hoping to make history with his new food truck at the corner of 4th and Bartlett. But Deal admits although he's parked at a busy intersection, he has no idea the history behind these city streets.
Any idea of how Bartlett got its name?
No, absolutely not.
According to historian George Kramer, the streets of Medford, like many towns in the early 1900s, were simply labeled as numbers and letters. That was until around 1907.
As the orchard industry was becoming a big deal, they renamed the streets. So A became Apple and B became Bartlett. Then you get out to Holly and Ivy and Peach and Rose and Orange, and they just kind of did it alphabetically because that was going to be the new normal in Medford in 1907.
There were a few exceptions. Central and Front streets were already named, but not all the streets actually represented what orchardists grew in the valley.
They tried to have fruit and vegetables, growing things as a way of talking about that the valley was this beautiful, bountiful place that you could make a living.
And making a living is exactly what Deal is trying to do, maybe even with an ingredient made from the same street he's located.
Oh, that's interesting. I never would have known that. I grew up here, but I never would have assumed that it was named after something so closely related to the valley.
Naming streets today is obviously a little bit different than it was nearly 100 years ago or so. The Medford City Planning Department tells me it's actually up to developers who are creating new subdivisions where these new streets might be to actually come up with those names. They do have to follow guidelines, however. To see a list of those guidelines and to learn more about Medford City streets, you can visit our website, KOBI5.com. Reporting in Medford, Kyle Averman, NBC5 News.
Pretty cool, Kyle. Thank you. And the series will continue tomorrow. Kyle heads to Northern California to let us know how Wairika did and didn't get its name. That's tomorrow right here on NBC5 News at 6.